Hey all, Jennifer Duclair, mindset mentor and attorney life coach, helping you build an attorney life that you're absolutely in love with. You are not meeting your billable hourly requirement. Oh no, what to do? First of all, if you are a new attorney and you just began in a firm that has a billable hourly requirement, let's remember that they did read your resume. They know how many years of experience you have, and they have measured their expectations with regards to your billable hours. You may feel like you're expected to hit the ground running. They may hide the fact that they know you're not going to meet your hourly requirements right away, right? So the both of you, if you could just in your mind make believe that you are meeting in the middle, right? Their worst case scenario is not going to come true. And your worst case scenario is not going to come true. You're going to somehow meet in the middle where you may not be meeting your billable hourly requirements, but you are steadily growing there. Now, how can you do that if you have so much learning to do? Let's say this is a new area of law for you, right? And even if you're familiar with this area of law, if you're in a new law firm, you're dealing with new players, it's a new case, you have some adjustment time that is needed for you to really hit your max with the billable hours, right? But if you are brand new to that area of law, brand new to lawyering, which many people watching this video are, how do you steadily improve and increase on your billable hour requirements in the midst of all this learning? And how do you do this without having to pour in 60 to 80 hours a week for learning? Well, here's what you do. Quite simply, do exercise your abilities to delegate. Because when you send work off to a paralegal who kind of gets the majority of it together for you, and then you get it back, you go over it, you learn from what he or she has written already. Because if they've been working at that firm for 3, 4, 5 years, they know what's needed and expected. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and start from scratch. You literally can take what they gave you, the skeletons of it all, study it, learn from it, right? Which is a faster path to learning than if you said, I'm going to write it myself from scratch and started doing all the research yourself. Study and learn from what they did. Familiarize yourself with it, explain to yourself where all these elements come from, and then, yes, you fill in the blanks, embellish upon it, make it an attorney work product to then hand over to your managing attorney. This is one useful way that your manager will appreciate you implementing to get work done, to be able to bill what you need to bill without all of the learning time that you would have. To do this, you have to disconnect yourself from the need to learn. Some of us in the legal profession are so in love with learning and researching and getting into all the details that delegating and letting someone else do the work feels like robbing ourselves of a learning opportunity. You have to get really good at weighing and valuing the learning opportunities here. Because some of these things that you see as this bright, beautiful learning opportunity, let me write this legal document from scratch, is a big, huge, fat waste of time for your managing attorney who had trained that paralegal or law clerk and now is sitting by watching you teach yourself, when what they really want you to do is use their training of that person to help you get your work done. There are some learning opportunities when your managing attorney assigns specifically to you a research project where you will work some things out, decide some things, strategize some things, write it all down, and hand it over to him or her. This is the time when they do want you to spend your time learning. So it is incumbent upon you to differentiate between these learning opportunities. Which one is a true learning opportunity that your managing attorney agrees, I want you to use this activity to learn through? And which one is, I don't feel comfortable not knowing how to do this. I want to know how to do this. When in fact, really and truly, your managing attorney meant for you to redelegate that assignment to a paralegal or law clerk, right? It's like the CEO of the sausage company wanting to go backstage or back a factory to find out how the janitor cleans up the fat and the stuff from the floor. He's a CEO with experience, or maybe not, maybe a brand new CEO who feels like he needs to work from the bottom up and know every person's job before he can get to the top. That's not going to work. He's not going to be spending his time CEOing, right? And he's going to be wasting the money that the company is paying him, feeling required to go learn how the janitor cleans up sausage grease from the factory floor. And that's what you're doing when you decide that you want to do the paralegal's job. Okay. So paralegal, law clerks, they're there to support you, help you. If they have more knowledge about the field and the subject than you do, that's great. Use that. Don't feel bad about that. That's the other thing that new attorneys need to do is get past feeling like you are somehow incompetent just because paralegals and law clerks who have been working there for years know more about the field than you do coming in from law school or from passing the bar exam. They're supposed to know more. And you're supposed to use that as a resource to support you. Let them do their part. Part of the problem is not knowing what is the paralegal's role, what is the law clerk's role, and what is your role. Let them do their part. And then you get their work product, you build on it to make it an attorney product, and you turn it in. Okay. If you have trouble figuring out what is for the paralegal or law clerk to do and what is for me to do, get some help figuring that out. Ask a fellow attorney, ask your managing attorney. Okay. When they give you an assignment, ask them straight up. Is this something you want me to take care of, or do you want me to redelegate this and supervise? If you're new and you're a brand new lawyer, they see that on your resume. This question is completely appropriate. And they will thank you for asking them that question because it helps them to direct the workflow and helps them to have their expectations met with regards to when you turn in the work and what quality of work you turn in. It also allows them to straight up tell you when, yeah, this is your learning opportunity. I want you to know how to do this. That managing attorney is stretched thin on time because not only do they have to take care of their workload, they also have to train you. So when you offer them the opportunity to drive that car, as far as how you spend your time, they're thankful, especially if it's a question that you have that's not obvious to them. They may believe that it's obvious to you to redelegate this assignment because that's exactly what they would do. Them, as hard as they may try, they are not in your shoes and they don't understand that you're fighting your own needs for, I don't know how to do this myself. I should do it myself so I could learn, right? They don't realize that you're having that thought process. They're thinking you're going to do the most efficient thing and you're actually out for your own learning and your own growth and your own experience. In wanting to learn, you may be shooting yourself in the foot. So there are some opportunities that you might see valuable that is not valuable to your managing attorney for you to do it yourself. You need to pass those opportunities on. If you're not clear on which ones, ask them, do you want me to redelegate this or do this myself? I'm happy to do this myself. I just want to know how you want me to spend the time. Ask them and let them direct you so that you can help meet their expectations and their schedule. Chances are, if it's something that needs to be redelegated to someone who's more knowledgeable, it's because that person has already been trained. The attorney already dumped their time into training that person on how to do it. They don't need to have that wheel reinvented, and they probably have a deadline that they need to meet, a personal deadline. It might not be the court's deadline, but they know they need to get this paper done by X date so that they can move on to the next case, pay attention to the next thing, make it to their daughter's ballet recital, whatever the case may be. It might not be a deadline that you know about. It's their workflow. Okay. Don't throw a monkey wrench in it. Find out from them what's the speed at which they want this to be done. Is this something you want me to do myself and do the learning and the research? Do you want me to redelegate this? All right. Do that. It will save you all a lot of stress. It will help you meet your billable hours, and it will help you feel confident without having to do anything more than just asking a question. Just by asking that question, you've become more competent in your job because a lot of your job as an attorney who has paralegal and law clerk support and a managing attorney who's supervising you, part of your job is traffic flow. Get good at that, and you will immediately begin to feel competent at your job and your area of law, even without learning one iota more of the law. Try that. Tell me how it goes for you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.